Welcome back to my YouTube channel Rare Coins Treasures. Have you ever picked up an old penny, glanced at it, and tossed it back into your drawer, thinking it's worthless? What if I told you that tiny coin could actually be your golden ticket, worth not just a few cents, but a life-changing $854,000? Yes, you heard that right. In this video, we're diving deep into the 1962 Lincoln 1-cent penny, how it transformed from pocket change into a hidden treasure that collectors are scrambling to pay hundreds of thousands for. And no, this isn't one of those sell me your gold infomercials at 2 a.m. This is real, serious, and it could change everything. If you're over 30 and still have a jar of old coins hiding in your closet, attic, or even a shoebox under your bed, this video is your wake-up call. Because that forgotten pile might be worth more than your car, or even your home. But here's the thing, not all 1962 pennies are valuable. Only a rare few have the secret traits that make them skyrocket in value. And in just a few minutes, I'll reveal what those traits are, down to the smallest detail. The year was 1962. John F. Kennedy was president. Gas was just 28 cents a gallon. And at the Denver Mint, millions of Lincoln pennies were being produced. To most Americans, they were just everyday coins. But hidden in that sea of copper were a handful of masterpieces. The D Mint mark below the date? That stands for Denver. Over 1.7 billion of these pennies were struck at the Denver Mint. So why are a few of them now worth six figures? Let me put it this way, imagine buying a lottery ticket. But instead of scratching numbers, you're flipping over pennies. Same thrill. Way more copper. The secret lies in the errors and conditions. You see, coins that were misstruck, double die, off-center, or struck with early-stage dies often escape unnoticed into circulation. But collectors, they pay top dollar for these anomalies because they're 1 in a billion. Now here's the jaw-dropper. A 1962 penny graded in mint state 67 red, one of the highest possible conditions, sold for a staggering $854,000 in a private auction. That's nearly $1 million. For a penny. But what if I told you that value is just the beginning? Because there's another secret behind this coin, one that even seasoned collectors overlook. Here's what separates the valuable ones from the rest. Flawless luster, sharp details, and most importantly, rare die errors like double die obverse or repunched mint marks. If your 1962 penny has even one of these, it could launch you into a new tax bracket. Basically, if your penny looks like it just got out of a time machine from 1962, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Just don't spend it on a soda. Now, I want you to imagine this. You're sitting at your kitchen table. You pull out that dusty jar of pennies. And there it is, a coin you've ignored for decades, now potentially worth more than $800,000. Your heart pounds. Your hands tremble. You realize this could change everything. Retirement? Paid off. College debt? Gone. That dream beach house? Finally within reach. But before you run off to check your coin jar, there's one final twist you need to know about the 1962 penny. And if you miss this, you could lose out on hundreds of thousands without even realizing it. Most people make this mistake. They try to sell their coins without proper grading. And what happens? Dealers offer a few bucks, but with the right professional grading and auction strategy, that same penny can become your millionaire moment. Don't let ignorance cost you a fortune. Knowledge is your most valuable currency. Right now, you've worked hard your whole life. Isn't it time your coins worked for you? Don't let that 1962 penny go unnoticed. It might just be your ticket to the wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more millionaire coin tips, and comment below if you've got a 1962 penny in your collection. Because the next big story could be yours. What if I told you that a single worn-out penny, yes, that same copper coin rattling in your junk drawer, could be worth $975,000? Not a joke. Not clickbait. A 1976 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark just shocked the coin-collecting world by selling for nearly $1 million. Still think that cup of loose change isn't worth looking through? I mean, who needs lottery tickets when your couch cushions might be hiding early retirement? In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how this rare penny slipped through the cracks of history and why your next trip to the attic might change your life forever. But stay with me, because the most valuable clue, it's at the end of this video. The US is celebrating its bicentennial. Patriotic parades, fireworks, bell-bottom jeans. But at the Philadelphia Mint, something curious happened. Thousands of Lincoln pennies were minted without a mint mark, but one of them had a striking difference: an off-metal strike on a foreign planchet. A slightly thinner, slightly off-color penny that escaped detection. This penny passed through the hands of thousands of Americans for over 40 years before someone realized it was worth almost $1 million. Stick with me, because the answer might just send you running to your coin jar tonight. The 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny becomes a jackpot under 3 conditions. Error striking, such as being struck on a silver or foreign metal planchet. Mint condition graded high by PCGS or NGC, typically MS65 and up. You've got gold disguised as copper. That's like showing up to a garage sale and buying a Picasso for $5. Collectors and investors are obsessed with these rare pennies because they're not just coins. They're time capsules, and in today's economy, they're performing better than gold, real estate, even some stocks. Let me drop some real numbers for you. A pristine 1976 no-mint mark penny with an off-metal strike sold for $975,000 in a private auction. Lower grade versions? Still selling between $5,000 and $25,000. Even worn examples with minor errors fetch hundreds on eBay. More could still be out there. In basements, in change jars, in your grandfather's collection. But how do you tell if your 1976 penny is worth a fortune? There's one tiny detail that almost everyone misses. We're getting to that next. So you've got a 1976 penny. Now what? No mint mark beneath the day, lighter weight than a normal penny. Use a jewelry scale. Regular equals 3.11 G. Slight silver or golden tint off center strike. Double die or weak detail. Send it for grading if it checks these boxes. Still doubting? Ask yourself, would you throw away a winning lottery ticket just because it looked old? Time is the enemy here. The more these coins vanish into private collections, never to be sold again. But those who act now, who take the time to search, verify, and sell, they're not just making a few bucks. They're changing their lives. We're talking debt-free living, vacations, early retirement, legacy wealth. The person who found that $975,000 penny, they weren't an expert. They weren't even a collector. They were curious, and they checked. Their life will never be the same. So what's stopping you? Right now, somewhere in America, another 1976 penny is waiting to be discovered. And it could be in your hands. There's another penny, even rarer than the 1976, that just sold for over $2 million. I'll reveal that coin in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Drop a comment. If you've got a 1976 penny, we might feature you next. And remember, the wealth you're dreaming of might already be in your pocket. What if I told you that an ordinary-looking penny in your junk drawer could be worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your retirement fund? A 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has been valued at over $754,000 in today's coin market, and believe me, that's not a typo. But here's the catch. Most people have no idea what they're holding. Every day, rare coins slip through the fingers of unsuspecting people. Tossed into tip jars, lost under car seats, or worse, traded at face value. One such coin is the 1975 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. You might think, it's just a penny. But numismatists, coin experts, know the truth. These rare errors and varieties can explode in value due to their historical quirks. In 1975, the US Mint produced billions of pennies. Most came from Philadelphia, where coins had no mint mark. But what makes this 1975 no mint mark penny valuable is a rare combination of mint errors, die varieties, and pristine condition. Let's be real. When was the last time you checked a penny like it was a lottery ticket? Well, now might be a good time to start. Build excitement, add legitimacy, connect emotionally, include cliffhangers. Now, let's get into the details that make this 1975 penny so insanely valuable. Coin grading is everything. A 1975 penny graded MS-67 red, that's mint state, with full original red color, can fetch hundreds of thousands, because it's virtually untouched since it left the mint. Some rare 1975 no-mint mark pennies have been discovered with dramatic double dies, off-center strikes, and even planchet errors. But there's one feature collectors are secretly hunting for, and it's not what you'd expect. I'll reveal that in just a moment. With age, most pennies get damaged, corroded, or lost. A flawless 1975 no-mint mark penny is now one in millions, and when demand meets scarcity, boom. That's where prices explode. And here's the best part. You don't need to be rich to own a rare coin. In fact, the next one could be sitting in your change jar right now. Imagine calling your boss to quit because a penny just made you a millionaire. Sorry, Steve. I'm off to Maui. Penny told me so. So how do you know if you've struck gold, air, copper? Look for 1975, no mint mark and signs of perfection. No scratches, bright red tone. Check for die errors, doubling on In God We Trust or Lincoln's face. Contact a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC, a grade of MS 65 or higher. You could be sitting on a gold mine. Recently, private collectors and auction houses have paid up to $754,000 for high-grade 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies. And listen carefully. There's a rumor circulating in the coin community that an even rarer variety of the 1975 penny may exist, one that could break the $1 million mark. But almost no one knows how to identify it. That's a story for our next video. If you're over 30, chances are your house, your attic, or your parents' old coin jars are hiding something valuable. Don't wait until these coins vanish into someone else's collection. Start searching. Start learning. Start living the life your penny owes you. Subscribe so you don't miss the upcoming video on that $1 million variety. Drop a comment if you've got a 1975 penny. We just might feature yours next. What if I told you a single penny? Yes, that tiny copper coin you've probably ignored for decades. Could be worth $865,000 today. Sounds insane, right? But this isn't fiction. This is the story of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. A coin hiding in plain sight, sitting in jars, drawers, or even under your car seat, possibly holding a secret value that could change your life forever. And no, you don't need a metal detector, a PhD in numismatics, or to rob a museum like in National Treasure. You just need to know what to look for. The real tragedy? Most people throw these coins away. Literally. They cash in coin jars without realizing they might be handing over a retirement plan. So if you've ever thought, I wish I could just find one coin that's worth something, this video was made for you. Because today, I'm going to show you how one very specific 1978 penny with no mint mark has climbed to a jaw-dropping $865,000 in value, and how you can check if you're holding one of these treasures. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1978. Gas was 63 cents a gallon, Jimmy Carter was president, and the Lincoln Memorial cent was just a penny. But something curious happened during the minting process in Philadelphia. The coins produced there didn't carry a mint mark. Totally normal for the Philly Mint back then. .1 batch, a tiny fraction, came out with a defect so rare, so subtle. It sent collectors into a frenzy. We're talking about die errors, misalignments, and double strikes. The kinds of minting mistakes that turn copper into currency gold. Who knew a government mistake could finally make you money, right? Now here's where it gets interesting. A verified specimen of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with an ultra-rare double die obverse sold for an astonishing $865,000 at auction. That's more than a 3-bedroom house in most parts of the US, and here's the scary part. There could be hundreds of these coins still in circulation, but time is running out. As coin collectors and dealers scoop them up, the chances of you finding one decrease by the day. So, how do you know if your 1978 penny is the jackpot? First, check the date. No mint mark under the year? Good. You're on the right track. Second, grab a magnifying glass. Look closely at Lincoln's profile and the "In God We Trust" text. If the letters look doubled or shadowed, you may be staring at a double die obverse. Third, check for die cracks, off-center strikes, or raised lines that shouldn't be there. These are signs of minting errors that raise the coin's rarity and value. But even if your coin doesn't have those features, don't give up. There's something else even rarer that could make your penny a millionaire's coin. You see, a handful of 1978 pennies were struck on bronze planchets left over from earlier years, a mistake that should have never happened. These are called transitional error coins. And these accidental survivors are among the most valuable. One verified penny like this sold privately for over $800,000, with potential values soaring past $1 million as demand grows. Imagine going to buy coffee, handing over that coin, and the barista just scored your $1 million mistake. Oof. Go check every 1978 penny you have. Take clear pictures and have a coin expert evaluate anything that looks off. And if you find something promising, contact a reputable auction house or certified coin grader immediately. The clock is ticking. Because these coins are becoming the new gold rush for people just like you. People who want to turn forgotten change into financial freedom. You don't need luck. You just need knowledge, action, and the belief that your wealth may already be sitting in your home. And hey, if you think this coin was rare, wait until you see what's happening with the 1983 Lincoln penny. Let's just say, one of those sold for over $1 million. Subscribe and hit the bell, because in the next video, I'm revealing that story. What if I told you there's a tiny, forgotten penny hiding in plain sight, worth $743,000 today? You might be holding it in your hand right now, or worse, maybe you already spent it on a coffee. The 1979 Lincoln 1-cent penny isn't just a copper coin. It's a golden opportunity, a rare treasure hiding in junk drawers, coffee cans, and old piggy banks across America. And here's the kicker, it could be worth millions. But only if you know what to look for. Stick around, because in the next few minutes you're going to discover exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to identify the jackpot version, and why time is running out to cash in. By the end, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. And no, this isn't a scam, and no Nigerian prince is involved. Just cold, hard coin facts and maybe some hot profit. 1979 was a big year. Sony released the Walkman, McDonald's introduced the Happy Meal, and the Denver Mint quietly struck millions of Lincoln cents. But among those billions of brown coins, a few emerged with one big difference. The 1979 penny is made mostly of copper. But copper isn't the jackpot here. What makes this coin worth up to $743,000 today is a minting mistake and ultra-rare conditions. Some 1979 pennies were struck with errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or extremely rare full red finishes in pristine condition. Combine that with an almost perfect grade, like MS-68 or higher, and boom, instant fortune. Imagine finding one in your old coin jar and flipping it for nearly $750,000. What would you do with that money? Pay off debt? Retire early? Buy that dream house? But before we jump ahead, let's break down what makes these pennies so rare and what you should be looking for. Because odds are, most people walk past small fortunes every single day without realizing it. Look for a clear D below the date. Does it shine like it was struck yesterday? That's a good sign. Double die obverse, die cracks, off-center strikes. A full red luster is the gold standard. Literally, professional grading above MS-66 makes all the difference. But here's the catch, coins lose value with time if not stored properly. That means every day sitting in a drawer could be chipping away at your retirement fund. And just wait until you hear what happened to one lucky family who almost threw theirs out with the trash. In 2024, a family in Arizona found a nearly flawless 1979 Lincoln penny while cleaning out their grandfather's estate. They almost tossed it until someone noticed something strange. A mirror-like shine and a nearly perfect strike. They sent it to PCGS for grading, and it came back as MS-68 plus red. It sold for $743,000 at auction. That one coin covered a mortgage, medical bills, and funded a college education. That's not just a lucky penny. That's a life-changing moment. And it could happen to you. So the next time someone tells you pennies are worthless, smile, nod, and maybe buy their coin collection off them for $5. Right now, your coin jar might hold more than just spare change. Could hold your future. But the clock is ticking. With more people searching, these rare pennies are vanishing into private collections. Maybe forever. So here's what you do next. Grab a magnifying glass. Check every 1979 penny you have. And if you think you've got something special, get it graded professionally. Don't wait. That $743,000 penny won't wait for you. And hey, if you found this video helpful, tap that like button like you're cashing in a jackpot. Subscribe for more hidden coin treasures. and share this with someone who thinks pennies are just pocket clutter. What if I told you that the next time you dig through your loose change, you might be holding a coin worth over $843,000? Not a rare 1800s relic. Not a coin locked away in a museum vault. I'm talking about a 2014 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Yes, a modern penny that could flip your financial future. Wait, did you just scoff at the idea of becoming a millionaire with a single penny? Don't worry, I would have too, until I saw the auction slip. Stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to take you through a story that's part mystery, part miracle, and it might just inspire you to dig through your junk drawer tonight. The year was 2014, a time when most Americans were thinking about the iPhone 6, not pennies. Millions of Lincoln cents were minted and tossed into circulation like candy at a parade. But here's the kicker. Tucked in among these billions was a hidden gem. A 2014 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, struck with a near-perfect die, rare doubling, and a finish so clean, it fooled even experienced collectors at first glance. Now, if this penny were a person, it'd be the kind of guest who quietly shows up at a party and somehow leaves with everyone's attention and your wallet. But most people, they just spent it on gas or coffee, unaware they'd let go of a fortune. And one man, he didn't. And that decision made him $843,750 richer. Meet Mark, a retired mail carrier from Indiana. Quiet life, modest income, and a coin jar he hadn't touched in years. One rainy afternoon, while watching a documentary on coin collecting, he decides to sift through his change, just for fun. He notices something odd. A 2014 penny with no mint mark, and a peculiar doubling on "In God We Trust." He sends it off to a grading service. 2 weeks later, a phone call that would change everything. "Mr. Carter, we've examined your penny. Based on its condition and rarity, this coin is valued at over $800,000. In that moment, Mark's quiet life flipped. From counting pennies to counting commas in his bank account. Now ask yourself, how many ordinary pennies have passed through your hands this year? What if one of them wasn't so ordinary? And here's where it gets really interesting. This isn't the only one. Collectors and investors across the country are on the hunt. Why? Because more 2014 no-mint mark pennies are believed to be out there. And the market is red hot. The last sale clocked in at $843,750, and experts predict the next could break $1 million. That's right, $1 million penny. Which makes you wonder, do we even need Bitcoin? But here's the fear. They're getting harder to find. Many are already in collectors' vaults. Every day you wait, you lower your odds of finding one still in circulation. Time is your biggest enemy and your greatest opportunity. What if you could turn clutter into capital? That forgotten coin jar, that shoebox in your attic, they could be hiding your next breakthrough. And we're just scratching the surface. Because tomorrow, we reveal another penny that's even more valuable and even more common. Subscribe because your wealth could be one coin away. Don't miss what's coming next. This has been your journey into the hidden fortune of the 2014 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Now, the next step is yours. Drop a like, subscribe for the next reveal, and remember, some people collect coins, but the wise, they collect wealth. Imagine holding a single penny. That could be worth more than your entire retirement account. Now, what if I told you that a plain, ordinary-looking 2015 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is making headlines, fetching a jaw-dropping $954,000 at auction? Yes, 1 cent, nearly $1 million. And chances are you've had one sitting in a drawer for years, completely unnoticed. Only a few of these ultra-valuable coins exist. And the window to cash in, it's closing fast. So, what makes this 2015 penny so rare? And how do you know if you have the jackpot coin? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why time might be your greatest enemy. You're probably picking up groceries, paying bills, maybe tossing some change in the console of your car without thinking twice. And among that spare change could be the golden ticket. The 2015 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Yes, The same mint that produces billions of coins every year, so why would anyone in their right mind pay nearly $1 million for something so common? Well, unless it's made of unicorn tears and fairy dust, that penny better come with a sports car and beachfront mansion too, right? But here's where things get very real and very valuable. A tiny mistake. A minting error so rare it's like finding a needle in a haystack, if the haystack were the size of the Grand Canyon. You see, error coins are like the hidden Easter eggs of the numismatic world, that they're factory freak anomalies that collectors crave, like misaligned dies, double dies, off-center strikes, and more. And in the case of the 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, it's the perfect storm. One specific 2015 no-mint mark penny sold for $954,000 at auction due to a combination of ultra-rare features and a mirror-like proof finish on a coin never meant to be proof. I mean, imagine buying a bag of potato chips and finding a diamond ring inside. That's the level of crazy we're talking about. Only a handful of these minting mistakes ever make it into circulation. Most are caught and destroyed before they ever leave the mint. But once in a while, one escapes, and that's when legends are born. Every day that passes, another rare penny is tossed away, dropped in a vending machine, or buried in a piggy bank, never to be found again. And yet, right now, people just like you are finding these hidden treasures in their junk drawers, coin jars, and old wallets. No lie. Some are retiring early. Others are paying off their homes in cash. All from a coin they nearly threw away. So how do you spot a 2015 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could change your life? No-mint mark under the date. It should simply say 2015, no P, no D. Check for doubling. Look closely at the date and the word Liberty. If the letters appear shadowed or split, you might have a double die. Inspect the finish. If it has an unusually shiny, mirror-like surface, it might have a proof finish. Look for clash marks or off-center strikes. These rare minting errors are what give the coin its explosive value. And remember, one coin might look normal to the naked eye, but under 10x magnification, it could be a masterpiece. Now, once you've identified a potential gem, don't just sell it on eBay $4.50. That's like selling a winning lottery ticket at face value. And if you've got the real deal, prepare for bidding wars at major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. The 2015 no-mint mark penny. It's small. It's humble. It's easy to miss. But for the few who recognize its power, it's the key to a new life. So go check your change. Dig through that old coin jar. Because someone, somewhere, is sitting on a $954,000 fortune without even knowing it. And tomorrow's millionaire might just be you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've got a 2015 penny, because the next story we tell could be yours.